Well, this is the living legend, Jimmy Cliff, with the Mightycrown.
Mightycrown for every schooler.
Yo, this is Mightycrown.
This is JAH representing Mightycrown. Bless up the revolutionary Far East rulers. Sami-t, Simon, Koji, Ninja.
はい、ということで、Mightycrown.com ご覧の皆さん、はいはい、インタビューシリーズですけど、やっと彼女をインタビューに招くことができました。Well, right now, the whole world I watch this Wagwan, you know, you don't know, so this is the Mightycrown TV, and tonight, right now, I got JAH for the interview. Thanks for having
Yes, blessed love, Sami-t.
Finally able to get an interview. Yes, the day has come. Anyway, I have a couple questions, you know, basic questions, and where were you born? I want to know some of your backgrounds, you know.
Alright, I was born in Trelawney. That is the west side of the island. Falmouth, Trelawney. Grew up for the first 8 years of my life, and then when I was 9, we moved to Kingston.
Okay.
Yeah.
9, just like
That's
that.
right, just like me. Yeah.
Okay. So you have like your what I say, like musicians in the family?
Not even really, no. Like my mother could always sing. She used to sing in church, and my sister as well. But no formal music. Like they would play instruments too, but nobody was in the music industry. But they were all very musical.
Oh, okay. So where this whole JAH? Where did you get your name, JAH?
Well, my name is spelled JANINE.
Okay.
So by the time I got to Kingston and I used to spend more time with my uncle, that's my mother's brother, he used to call me JAH.
Okay.
Just because he's the family comedian, he would just find it funny to do that. But you know, as you grow up, you find more significance in JAH. And you find the significance of the number 9.
Okay.
And I always wanted an African name, like I always wanted a name with meaning. So when my uncle started calling me that, I really took it as my own. And when I was going off to school, I would write up JAH on all of the desks and tables and so on. And you know, we drop in the H as we grow and learn about the culture and learn that JAH is the name of the Almighty, even in the Bible, you know. So it became significant. And then you learn the importance of the number 9. 9 is a feminine number, it is the highest number. Any number that you multiply by 9 becomes 9. You didn't know that?
Okay.
Yes, yeah man, it's a very, very, very powerful number. So I take that name now as a charge to myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you start off your music career as JAH?
That would probably be maybe 7 years now.
7
as
years.
JAH. Yeah, approximately.
You have an album drop right now, right? What was the album name?
New name.
New Name.
Yes.
How many songs was there in it?
New Name had 11 songs. 12 tracks
songs.
and 11 songs, yeah.
Okay. My next question is, what is your main focus within the music?
My main focus within the music would have to mirror my main focus in life, which is really just being more and more like His Imperial Majesty. Yeah, being more and more like the Christ. Exemplifying those principles, learning about the King, and kind of giving the youth His Imperial Majesty as an example, teaching them about him, so that it's not just, oh, a man say Rastafari, but you're actually learning who this man was, what is his place in history, what is his place on a personal level, on a universal level, what does his coming mean to all of us as black people. Now we have a black king. You know, it's a reason for us to unite. It is a banner under which we can unite. And especially when, you know, the African men have been so disenfranchised. They don't have any place to call their own. And Africans don't even call, black people hardly even call themselves Africans. Like how the Japanese have Japan and the Chinese have China. Where the African have, His Imperial Majesty give black man an opportunity to be proud, to consider themselves African. And Ethiopia is a great nation that has been mentioned many times in the world coming up. So again, as African people, it's important for us to associate with these positive things, especially in this time.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So that is what I am doing with my music. Like if it's not about His Majesty, it don't even make sense I do this music. Really and truly, it's better I go get an office work.
Okay. Let me break it down a little bit, right?
Yeah.
What can, how would I say, public people,
Yeah.
some people who don't really know about Rastafari, Rasta music, what can you deliver and basically relate to them? Because there's a lot of people out there who wants to know about your music and stuff, but don't know how to relate that.
That's a good question. All right, so I would say, you see, even we call it Rastafari because that is our experience here in Jamaica as black people. But whatever kind of structure that people put them spirituality into, whatever name them call it, is the same principles of love and respecting each other and treating people the way you want to be treated and being grateful and treating your body well, taking care of your temple, taking care of the elders and the youth and all of these good principles that every respectable indigenous people know. Because this is the way of life of all of us who are connected to the earth. The Native Americans, the indigenous Asians, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Everybody from them place, they know this is how you build community. So it's really those original, indigenous, kind of principles we're trying to live and trying to, pass on to the ones as well. And it feels heavy, but really and truly is the simplest thing in the world. Just be grateful.
Yeah,
just, be gentle with each other. And because I am woman, I have the luxury of being able to say these things and not looking like a bait. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I am woman. I am bringing this nurturing kind of energy to the thing. To remind the ones that it's not just all hard and aggressive and life isn't always a struggle. Sometimes you can take it easy and just look around, and even if it's just your health or your sight, find something to be grateful for and just focus on the positive.
Okay. So that means I don't have to become.
No, you don't have to lock your hair.
Okay.
I mean, growing your hair is a good thing because long hair, not locked hair, but just having long hair is a good way to heighten your sensitivities. So that is a cosmic thing too. That's why they call the study of beauty and hair and those things cosmetology.
Okay.
You see me? So it's important to connect with your roots, but you don't have to lock your hair. But it is important to say you understand your place in the space. You're not just existing by yourself. You know what I mean? You have to survive in a community. No man is an island. And we as people also have to realize we are a part of a wider community on the planet. Because we have to take care of the earth. We have to take care of the sea. Because these are the things that feed us and give us shelter. So it's just, community in every sense. That is what we're promoting.
Well, it sounds deep, but I think it's very simple. It is, I think,
I think that's it.
My next question is, you're very soulful, powerful. You are very strong form of a woman. There's a lot of weak women out there. What you can tell them about today? You're so strong.
Yeah.
You have the powers. I see that in you, right? So
give thanks. I think a lot of times when we see sisters and we think they're weak, sometimes a lot of it is because they have not had a lot of encouragement. And I was blessed because I grew up in a home with my mother and my father, and both of them treated me with respect and taught me to love myself. But a lot of the sisters, even when I was going to high school, I realized that I didn't even talk about my family much because it was so rare that you have a home with mother and father and so on. So you never really want people to feel uncomfortable because I never had any horror stories about my parents, But that is not to say that if you grow up in a struggle, that makes you less. Because sometimes, it's those who grow against the hardest odds that come up and, shine the brightest light. So it's really just, I would just remind all of the sisters to just kind of stop listening outside of yourself so much and start to just take things a little more easy. Be a little more patient with yourself. Stop trying to please man or society. Stop putting yourself on the market and start really listening to your inner voice. Reconnect with yourself. Just meditation. I practice yoga, so I have that now to help me to go inside of myself. Or just sitting in meditation. But I would have just try and remind the sister them that life is so much more than just the material things, and beauty is so much more than just the physical, because that is the thing. The sisters get so caught up with the superficial things because that is what the media tell you. You must look this way, you must have the latest this, and the music tell you that. Everything is telling you that. So sometimes you just have to tune everything out and just return to the stillness. And especially as woman, it's easier for woman, because woman connected to the cycles already and the mood. So sometimes when you just tune out, turn off your phone and just sit down and just breathe and just be grateful, And I can't prescribe and tell a one what to do, but I can just encourage them to at least just be still,
What do you think about, do you watch TV?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I just have an image, the whole, how would I say it, Jamaican culture has changed a lot after when the TV come in.
That is the whole Jamaican. Oh yes, it is true. It is true of most of the indigenous cultures that we're talking about. Once the invention of the television and the fact that now this is now available to everyone, that means you sit at your grandmother and the grandfather and all of this community vibe of going outside and sitting under the moon and telling stories and all of that, spending time and making eye contact and asking someone, so how was your day? And, even sitting at the dinner table, you know what I mean? All of these things are now bombarded, people eating dinner around the TV. People, when you're not watching TV, you're plugged into your phone. So there's always something, But the TV in particular kind of allowed the North American culture to kind of trickle down to us. And it took over with a vengeance. And so it affected the way people dress, it affected the way they spoke, it affected the music and the messages that they had access to. And not all of them are negative, But it's just so many opportunities them have to, it really...
Too much information.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't need so much information because it's not even knowledge, it's just information.
Exactly.
And so the people now don't have a filter because these humble island people, they're going to take what they're told, and so now you are introducing values to them that don't even make sense in their reality. And so even when you see how the politicians are governing the country, right? They are governing it based on Westminster Abbey and all of these places that are far removed from our reality. We live on an island, and if we would just look around and make use of the resources that we have, then we wouldn't need to be looking to somebody from outside to come in and tell us how to run our island. So it kind of made the people's spirit a little weaker, and so they started to believe that, this now that is coming through this idiot box is what I should really be listening to. They must know more than me because their country is bigger and they're richer, so they, and it was just the beginning of a great decline as far as I'm concerned.
They say what you see is what you believe, but I don't know. To me, that is a lot of times is a thing where you feel.
True.
It's a vibe, so